Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Desi Aussie and today we will talk about Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition launching on PC. The game is developed by Guerrilla Games and launched initially back in Feb 2017 as a PS4 exclusive, with a major DLC as The Frozen Wilds releasing in November of the same year. The game was such a hit with players and reviewers that it immediately became a house favorite with all ratings upwards of 8.5 out of 10. The game sported such great action role playing elements and contained a new take on the post apocalyptic world that it was an immediate contender to the likes of Fallout and Metro. The game followed the adventures of Eloy, the main protagonist, a hunter in a world overrun by machines who sets out to uncover her past. The player uses ranged weapons, a spear, and stealth to combat mechanical creatures and other enemy forces. A skill tree provides the player with new abilities and bonuses. The player can explore the world to discover locations and take on side quests. Even though this was the first RPG game by Guerrilla Games, it was an absolute hit and was able to move 10 million copies on PS4 by Feb 2019. The game was praised for its open world, story, visuals, combat, characterizations, and the performance of voice actress Ashley Burch. However, the dialogue, melee combat, and character models received some criticism. Since the game did so well, it was immediately added to the PS4 hits and was launched again as a complete edition. A sequel to the game Horizon Forbidden West is set to be released in 2021 for PS5. More on that later. Now, let's move back to 2017. During 2017 and 2018, I was traveling so much that I barely got time to play any games. However, this game made such an impression on me that I bought the complete edition after launch, even though my PS4 was not with me. I still own it in mint condition because I got stuck due to COVID-19 far away from my PlayStation. Anyways, let's move on to 2020. After much hype, the complete edition of the game was launched on PC through Steam and Epic Launcher. The game looked visually good, and running on PC meant unlocked frame rates, high fidelity graphics, better shadows and reflections through ray tracing and whatnot. However, all those hopes and dreams went down the drain when the early adopters of the game, such as myself, were treated to an absolutely unplayable experience with weird artifacts, tearing, glitches, and frame rates that are all over the place. Even the optimized settings determined by the game itself did little to rescue the game and resulted in unexpected crashes, black screens, and just weird issues that you wouldn't expect from Guerrilla Games. According to Steam, the game should be able to run on an i5 2500K or AMD FX 6300 with 8 gigs of RAM and a GPU that is either GTX 780 or AMD R9 2090 4GB edition. Basically, a potato PC by today's standards should just be able to run the game with no crashes. However, the reality is far from it. People are complaining, as it was my own experience as well, that the game in some instances becomes completely unplayable. Even though you are sporting such good hardware, it is barely making an impact. If you are one of the lucky ones, you should be able to play the game at a rate of 1 crash an hour. I would, however, advise everyone to update their drivers if you at least want this game to load to main menu. Otherwise, it would just crash before the main menu even shows up. Bluegills, running the game on RTX 2080, i9 9900K, and 16 gigs of DDR4 on Steam, said, "Performance is terrible, process lingers after closing. Even following people's quality settings for good performance, I'm still getting terrible results. Lots of pop-ins, constant stutters, especially in cutscenes, and crashing gameplay. The game is poorly optimized but manages to perform a bit better on the systems sporting Ryzen chipsets with a high-end Nvidia GPU, which is able to go above the coveted 60 FPS. Over on the Intel side of things, I wouldn't expect a system with i9 9900K and an RTX 2080 to drop frames to 40 FPS. Sadly, the troubles of Horizon Zero Dawn do not end there. Apart from the graphics, there are other problems with the game that hinders it from winning the hearts of the Master Race community. For instance, the concentration ability is meant to zoom in and slow down time so you take trick shots and whatnot. In some instances, it only zoomed in and did not slow time The similar problem is there when you pull up the weapons wheel or sliding while aiming and aiming mid-air. All these instances do not work as intended as the game decides to not slow down time. Everything keeps moving at the normal speed. You may change the graphics settings, but time slowing mechanics does not want to work on some machines. Other than that, you will definitely find some stuttering issues during cutscenes and crashes during your gameplay. Some other problems you might need to ignore if you decide to play it anyways are weird artifacts appearing on NPCs while communicating with them. Guerrilla Games, however, are not blind to the issues the majority of the PC players are experiencing. Guerrilla has offered a quick update in response to the numerous player reports submitted following the port of the fan-favorite PS4 game to PC. They said, "We have been monitoring all our channels and are aware that some players have been experiencing crashes and other technical issues. Please know that we are investigating your reports as our highest priority. We appreciate those who have already taken the time to report their issues on Steam, Reddit, or via our website. If you are still encountering crashes or bugs, please continue to use those spaces or refer to our frequently asked questions if you are unsure of how to proceed. Your reports are and have already been incredibly helpful for our team." End quote. While the post didn't give an indication as to when the issues might be resolved, but the team did say it would update us as soon as they have more news. The bottom line is, I have loved this game since its initial launch on PS4 and would absolutely recommend it on PS4 any day of the week, but on PC in its current state, all I would say is hold off on buying it until a major patch is issued or buy it at your own risk. Alright everyone, this is it from my side. Please like this video if you liked it and dislike if you didn't, and comment down below to tell me about your experience running this game. Subscribe to my channel to see awesome content like this and follow me on Twitch to join me in my live streams. Links are given in the description below. Until then, take care, stay safe, and see you in the next one.